What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Married to Medicine Season 9, Episode 7. So, in Quad's confessional, she talks about how Dr. Heavenly was wrong and Dr. Contessa was also wrong. Heavenly was wrong for talking about her friend on social media, and Contessa was wrong for ambushing Heavenly. And I agree with Quad. They were both wrong in their own way. So now the ladies go to Circa Restaurant. Looks like a very, very high-end restaurant over there in Vegas. And Contessa, the first thing that she does when they all sit down is that she apologizes to the women for her behavior at the brunch, for her contribution to the breakdown of the brunch. Dr. Heavenly says nothing. She doesn't apologize. So then Dr. Simone wants to start a Q&A because she says her and Cecil are writing a book about relationship, and she wants to get the women's input on their relationships to see what she can include in her book. I don't think the Q&A was really for the book. I think the Q&A was just to, start mess and, be messy. That's all it was for. I don't think it had anything to do with the damn book, because she didn't have a paper or a pen to write on, or a recorder to record their responses, or anything. So the first question was, does it matter if the man is the breadwinner, for him to be head of household or something like that? I don't care what these women say. None of these women would marry anybody who didn't have any money. None of them would. So for Latoya to say that it really wouldn't matter to her, I don't believe it. Dr. Heavily said to Toya there is no way that she would have married Eugene if he didn't have money. So Toya, with her highfalutin ways, or her wannabe highfalutin ways, and she thinks that she's got very expensive taste, and that whatever, she would not marry a man who didn't have money. So it does matter to Toya. Even though she said it didn't matter to her, it does matter to Toya. And I think that you cannot be head of household if you're not earning an income. There's just no way. I don't care if it's for tax purposes. I don't care if it's just for within the home. Like, am I going to bow down to you and let you make all the decisions and you're not earning an income? Absolutely not. No. Absolutely not. Now, that doesn't mean that if the man is working, and let's say the woman is a homemaker, I think that he has the final say in the finances, because he's the one that's bringing in the money. And if the woman doesn't like how he's handling the finances, then she can bring in her own income. And it goes vice versa. If the woman is the one that's bringing in the money and supporting the household, she makes the final decisions on what happens with the money. Of course, y'all can have a conversation. The one who is not working can definitely have an input. But at the end of the day, the one that's earning it, I think, is the one that makes the decisions. If both of you are earning it, then both of you have the right to make the decisions and come to an understanding. But if I'm the one working, I decide how the finances go. So the next question is, can your husband have female friends? And then this brings up the whole situation with Cecil a few years ago, when he was like being brainwashed or mind controlled by this woman, who he claims was just his friend. She was like a sister to him, but she was very much like coming in the middle of his marriage with Simone. And so Simone said that, look, you can have female friends, but your female friends have to respect boundaries. So evidently this woman that Cecil was being mind controlled under a few years ago was not respecting the boundaries of their marriage. Audra asked about, what were you most surprised about when you got married? And then Toya says that she was most surprised that their anatomy, that specific part of their anatomy, doesn't get any bigger. I don't understand what she was talking about. Like, do you mean like you thought because you married him, now that you're married, you expected things to grow? Or what the hell are you talking about? But anyways, so that was definitely a dig on Eugene and his anatomy. And even though the women laughed, it was still a dig. It was still, Toya should not have said that. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so you got this man slaving away for you to uphold your keeping up with the Joneses lifestyle. And this is how you repay him. This is how you show your appreciation to him, by talking about his body, and talking about, certain parts of his anatomy. This is the appreciation that you show to the man who loves you so much that he's willing to work himself to death so he can constantly build bigger and bigger and bigger houses. Gotcha. So everybody laughed, like I said, but it was just really tasteless for her to say that. I didn't think it was funny at all. They thought it was funny. I didn't. They all go to a strip club afterwards, and they have a really good time at the strip club. It was just a good time at the strip club. Let's just it. Let's just keep it at that. The next morning, Simone suggests. So this is the thing. So someone said, I don't know who it was. Was it Quad? Yes, Quad said that she thinks that Simone believes Heavenly got a pass for her, social media shenanigans. Simone thinks that maybe Heavenly was not punished enough. And so there's a conversation that starts up at breakfast where Simone says, well, what if because Dr. Heavenly had asked Simone, can you please give me or forward me the video footage that we took at the strip club? Because I want to edit them. And then Dr. Simone was like, you don't have to worry about that because I'm going to go ahead and edit them. And what if I put them on social media? The footage that we got at the strip club. And then this shows clips of Heavenly just really enjoying herself at the strip club and having a damn good time with the dancers. And so Simone suggests, well, what if I put that on social media? And I thought that was really, really funny. But anyways, Heavenly apologizes to Contessa. She ends up apologizing to Contessa. She gives her excuses about how her traumatic childhood had made her kind of like she has this really tough exterior, and in order to protect herself, she feels like she has to attack others before they attack her. And she doesn't really know how to deal with like stress or pressure. So she'll end up laughing about things that shouldn't be laughed at because that's her coping mechanism when she's handling something that's very difficult. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. And I'm like, Heavenly, spare us. Heavenly, that's not it at all. You purposely, because think about it. It's not like you and Contessa are having a conversation and then you just start attacking her husband or you just start attacking her marriage. You are in the comfort of your own home, okay? You make the conscious decision. When I come home from work, I'm going to do a YouTube video. So you go through the process of setting up your camera and your microphones and your makeup and your hair, and you sit down calmly and casually. You sit down in front of your camera. You look to see in your room, are the people showing up? Is your audience arriving for the show? And then you start going in on everybody. It's not like this was a defense mechanism like, oh my God, I feel attacked, so I'm going to attack back, and I'm going to attack by talking about her marriage. It's not like that at all. Everything is so methodical and it's so planned. Heavenly, you just want to talk about your friends because you know it's going to give you a lot of attention. That's all it is. And while you don't review other shows is beyond me, because Heavenly, you're very talented as far as, you have the gift of gab. You're very funny. You have a natural sense of humor. Heavenly, you can talk about so many things and people would still come and listen. You would still get the same amount of attention, if not more. It would still be because you just have the gift of gab. You have a gift of entertaining people. So the fact that you're choosing to talk about your friends, especially you talk about how you and Contessa were such good friends. So if you have this thing about you have to attack other people before they attack you, why were you attacking Contessa? Why did you feel the need to go after Contessa and to say the things that you said about her marriage? I just don't understand. I don't buy your excuse, Heavenly. I like you, Heavenly. I do like you. At first I didn't, but now I do like you. I watch your YouTube. I think you're funny. You make me laugh. But the excuse that you gave about growing up in Miami and this really traumatic childhood, I don't think that correlates to the reason why you talk about your friends on YouTube. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Like I said, if they were like attacking you and then you came back and you read each one of them, I could understand. But it wasn't that. You're in your own home, away from everybody, minding your own business, and you're like, I'm gonna turn on the camera and talk about my friends and do it under the guise of a show review. Girl, no, miss us with that. Miss us with the excuses, Heavenly. Just be honest about it. And the fact that you want to continue doing it, I think you still want to do it. I don't know. I haven't watched her latest videos. I don't know if she's still doing it or not. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't think you really have to go that route. I think you can still be just as funny, just as entertaining. Talk about something else. Talk about the other shows. Talk about celebrity news. I mean, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about, and you would still be you'll still be just fine with your YouTube channel. I don't think you have to go in like that, especially after they had told you to stop and you didn't stop. But whatever. That is my review. Not much happened in this particular episode. Thank you so much for joining me. On your way out, don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please subscribe. If you don't worry about it. Thank you for stopping by anyway, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.